October 9th, it's the Republican nominees for president. Live from Dearborn, Michigan at 4 p.m. We are teaming up with the Wall Street Journal and MSNBC for this one, so don't miss it as we make sure the economy takes center stage. Republican Fred Thompson officially joining the presidential race, but doesn't matter. For the first time in decades, the Republicans don't have a president or a vice president in the race. John Harwood is our chief Washington correspondent. John Fund is a columnist at opinionjournal.com. And we've asked Republican Congressman Reynolds to stick around with us tonight since he's got a stake in what happens. Representative Reynolds, I'll start with you. How do you handicap this race so far?
I think it's wide open. I think any of our candidates has an opportunity to be the nominee. I think that nomination will begin to crystallize by February. But Thompson coming in now makes it official. There are four kind of in the top tier candidates as I see it, and Huckabee in that second tier. But it'll now be up to Fred Thompson to measure himself both on his performance of fundraising and getting into the arena as he goes with the front-runner Rudy Giuliani and Mitt Romney, who's right behind him, and John McCain, who was seasoned and did a good job in his debate last night.
John Harwood, you have a front-row seat. What do you think? How do you handicap the race so far?
Well, I'm going to be fascinated, Melissa, to see how Republicans, including John Fund, including Tom Reynolds, sort out these top candidates on those economic issues. Because when you really look at what they're standing for right now, making permanent the Bush tax cuts, other opposing raising private equity taxes, they're all in the same place. And so they're going to try to contrive arguments to make distinctions with one another. Last night, Rudy Giuliani hit Fred Thompson for not having executive experience. Giuliani hits Romney saying he didn't lower broad-based tax rates in Massachusetts. Romney says Giuliani didn't perform as many tax cuts as he said he did. How are Republicans going to make those distinctions? It's going to be an interesting question.
John Fund, what do you think about that?
Well, first, one correction. I've never been a Republican. I'm a radical, much more so than the Republicans would ever be. I have to say, I think Thompson has an opportunity to get a clear and crisp message out. His message is basically, I'm the clear and consistent conservative. He had a very good line last night. He said, any government that's big enough to give some of the people everything they want is big enough to take away everything that we all have. That's the kind of Reagan-esque line that he has to continually push forward. He obviously has some disadvantages. He's taken a long time to get in. He's had some staff turnover. But the most of the voters don't pay attention to that. They're only focusing on this in the next few weeks. So if he can get his message out, keep campaign mistakes to a minimum, he's got a chance at reaching a constituency that doesn't yet have a candidate in this race.
Representative Reynolds, who do you think is best suited to beat the Democrats?
Well, as you look at the national polls, it says that Giuliani, and he touts himself as best able to go to the general election. But we're going to have a primary process, and as you cited in the opening of this segment, there is no incumbent president or vice president. So the voters, Republicans, are going to have to choose a nominee. And as we've looked at both national security and economic security, all our candidates seem to be pretty right on the issue with a similar message and kind of nitpicking each other as we start out moving towards primary season.
All right, gentlemen, thanks so much for joining.
Congressman, could I ask you one quick question?
Sure.
Go ahead.
Am I right to infer you have not endorsed Rudy Giuliani?
I have not endorsed anybody
that's a sign
yet.
to me of how open it is.
I haven't endorsed anybody yet.
Okay.
It's early.
All right, gentlemen, thanks for that, John. Thanks for joining us tonight.